Thank you for downloading the Wado Radio Podcast. If you love what you're hearing, leave a review on iTunes. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps expose others to the show. Thank you, and God bless.
This podcast is brought to you by Covenant Eyes. The internet can be a dangerous place for unguarded eyes and hearts. Covenant Eyes provides the services that protect against the evils and temptations that can be found on the World Wide Web. Visit wadoradio.com/resources for more information about our affiliate, Covenant Eyes.
Everybody lends an ear. I want to thank you in advance for letting us make it clear to y'all.
Yes, it's DJ Wado. It's the Wado Radio Show. We are live at Jachrockn, the premier studio in New York City, for your mixing, mastering, engineering, all of that good stuff. If you're listening to this on the podcast, make sure you check us out on YouTube so you can see the full video of this. And if you are watching this on YouTube or on wadoradio.com, of course, subscribe to our free podcast in iTunes or wherever podcasts are. Listen, I got a special guest, man. I love this dude, man. My brother Dee-1 is here from the great state of Louisiana, or as he would say, the great country of New Orleans.
Great country of New Orleans. Yeah.
Hey, man, how you been, bro?
I'm cool. And look, for anybody that's opposed to that jersey he got on, don't hold it against Dee-1.
Don't hold it against Dee-1. Don't hold it against Dee-1.
It's an inside joke. You ain't got to laugh. All right.
But how you been, man?
Man, I don't know, bro. Like, you know how you wake up every day and you realize how precious life is. Yeah. So you thank the Lord for another day, and you know you won't ever get that day again. So you try to maximize that day, and then you go to sleep 23 hours later and you do it all over again. And that's just life every day, brother. So I'm good.
I really like, in listening to the album, bro. I didn't know you've been through so much, like just so much stuff in your life. Like, I knew you've been through a lot, but it was some stuff on the album. I was like, okay, wow, like you kind of brought to light. You know,
everything happens for a reason. So that being said, my people named me David, and obviously David was a fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot about David's life. He was beloved by so many. He was a king. He was heralded. You know, but man, life was not peaches and cream for that man.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? That man, and honestly, I've always felt a connection with David, big brother, before I even got to the point where I even knew the calling God had on my life. I always just connected with the character of David. So it's no secret that a lot about my life has been a fight. Definitely, I'm the underdog in a lot of ways, man. And there's the album. So everything you heard got you feeling like, wow, I learned Dee-1 on another level. I ain't even scratched the surface really on the album.
Wow.
So the next album is gonna have people like, I just had to crack the door open on this.
Sure.
But I'm built for the fight.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I'm built for the fight. And God then gave me a platform and gave me a profession where I can talk about it in a way that's gonna inspire other people. So when they're going through that fight, they like, man, that boy Dee-1 done been through some stuff too. And I see he came out on top. You heard me? So I'm focused to handle my business every day.
Sure. It's interesting, bro, because you've put out a lot of music, a ton of mixtapes, EPs, and at this point now where major label debut, album, like this is a big moment, bro. Like how does that feel?
It's different, man. It's different. It's like a dream come true in some ways.
Yeah.
All you ever wanted as a little boy was to be like your heroes, and so for me that's Juvenile, BG, Turk, and Lil Wayne, the hot boys.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And It's like, man, they signed to Cash Money / Universal, and they got this national platform, and they're on TV. So for me, doing it independently was always cool, but I always felt like if I had more of a team behind me, it would enhance what I could do.
Sure.
And now I got what I asked for. So what else can I do at this point? I can't complain. I just gotta get through it. It's different though. I won't lie to you. It's different when you have a bigger unit around you. There's a lot more riding on this album.
I was gonna say, like, do you feel the pressure, like, even for this album to have to do something? Like is there a pressure that you feel?
Pressure ain't the word, cause I'm gonna be good regardless. I really am. Like, that's one thing I learned too by always being the underdog. I'm like, man, as soon as one thing happened, whoop whoop, and I don't get what I wanted, and I think I'm stuck, and I think I'm in the trenches, bam, something else opened up. You know what I'm saying? And it's the biggest song of my career, Sally Maybach, aka a song that wasn't good enough, for some people to really get a push, but then that become the biggest song of my career. And I'm like, man, God got me regardless, as long as I focus on just being obedient to his will, regardless of like, pressure ain't even a real thing. It's a lot on my back though, I can't lie, and I wouldn't call it pressure. It's just a lot of responsibilities on my back, man. So this is a season where I know I'm gonna get tested right now. I had a big surgery a few months back.
Yeah, I saw that, bro.
I'm
so mad I didn't know about that in the moment. I was on your Instagram and I was like, cool. Whoa, like, I seen a hospital bed. I was like, what?
Yeah, nah, it's cool, man. I got this rare condition called Achalasia. You could Google it when we finish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a rare condition, bro. 1 out of every 100,000 people get this, and unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I have this. You know what I mean? So it's something that affects my digestion and my swallowing real bad. My stomach, I got like acid reflux on like super steroids, you know what I mean? And just it's a lot of complications I be going through. So I had to get this is the second surgery I had for it. And between that, then I used to be a teacher a couple years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
So last month, man, one of my former students, one of my favorite students, who was actually blowing up in the city of Baton Rouge as a rapper, he got murdered, you know what I mean? And this was 2 days after he and I were FaceTiming, and I knew he was going through a lot. He told me, because he still called me Mr. Augustine, so he still look at me as like a big brother, like, man, whatever you say, Mr. Augustine, I'm there, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, look, brother, let's link up. I have a show in Memphis to go run and do. Let's link up Monday when I get back. And he ain't lived through the weekend, you know what I mean? And so and I take, I took that hard, because we could have linked up on Friday before I left, but me just feeling like, it could wait. And what I realized about life, bro, is stuff can't always wait. It can't wait. Somebody might not have till Monday, So that's how I'm trying to approach every day that I live, man. Like, the things that I struggle with or that I go through as an individual, I'm trying to make sure that they can't wait till next year to be a New Year's resolution to get over that or to get better at that. That can't wait. I had something in my personal life I know I needed to do for me, which was get baptized, you know what I mean? I didn't even say anything about it publicly, but shortly after my student got killed, I realized, like, I gave my life to Christ, years ago, and went through that whole process. But I grew up, I was raised Catholic, you feel me? And so I got baptized as a little baby. You feel me? And it was always something in my head where I was like, well, I think I need to get baptized again, since I, as a man, rededicated my life to Christ. But then the other part is like, I got baptized already. And I'm like, rather than wrestle with it, let me just do this, you know what I'm saying? Let me do this, because once again, I don't know if I got till Monday, you know what I mean, and type stuff. So it's crazy though, because I got all these people always trying to book me and whatnot. So this was a busy season, and I got like offers for like thousands and thousands of dollars to go here and go there, but I couldn't get baptized at my church unless I completed a certain amount of classes, right? Consecutively. Yep. So I had to pass up on like, thousands and thousands of dollars to go and do this. But to me, getting baptized was priceless, you know what I mean, in my walk with God. So, I did that, man. And now, with the album coming out, it's like, there's fights that's going on, there's fights that's going on behind the scenes and whatnot in my life. But I think fans deserve to know that like everything is not perfect, but they also deserve to know that like my joy is unmatched, you know what I mean? Like, it's a reason why I smile so bright, and why I'm, why I feel like every time I talk to you I get like an adrenaline rush, almost like it's a confessional, like, nah, man, bro, I gotta tell you this, bro. I gotta tell you this, dog. But that's how I feel, man, and I'm cool. So I'm excited for everybody to hear this album.
Let's talk about like the concept of the album, Slingshot David, man.
Yep. Slingshot David, the album. That's the title of it. The concept,
that's the movement.
The concept is so it's so like, it's just, I can't emphasize how passionate I am about this, because in life, we all have Goliaths. You feel me? Goliaths are giants. Your Goliath could be poverty. It could be a bad family situation at home. It could be domestic violence. It could be racism, discrimination. You
Sally Mae.
Yeah, it could be Sally Mae. It could
paying
be
her back.
You heard me? It could be death. It could be death. It could be violence. It could be mass incarceration. We all got several Goliaths present in our lives. You know, as we all know, David defeated Goliath, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, David defeated Goliath with what? With a slingshot.
With a slingshot.
So the key to life is to defeat your Goliaths. You got to identify what's your slingshot. You heard me? And then you got to know how to use your slingshot, and you can defeat your Goliaths. So your slingshot is just your passion, your talent, your skill. You know what I mean? And then you got to know how to use it properly to defeat Goliaths. David could have took that slingshot and started, throwing rocks at his own army, at his own people, and he would have been using the slingshot for the wrong reason. He could have took the slingshot and been beating himself over the head and bloodying himself up with it, and he wouldn't have defeated Goliath. That's what a lot of us do. We identify our passion, our skill, our talent, but we use it for the wrong purpose. So Slingshot David, the album, I'm narrating my life story, man. I ain't just come out the womb how I am today. You feel me? Like I really lived a life full of trials and tribulations and ups and downs, and trying to find myself and wrestling with what the world want me to do versus what my family wants me to do versus what I want to do, and doing what I want to do and not being successful and all this stuff, to eventually coming out on top as a champ. You feel me? That being said, I'm telling my life story to allow people to understand how I found my slingshot and why I chose to use it the way I'm using it. Because hip hop is my slingshot.
Sure.
Understand that. I ain't grow up being a rapper. I ain't grow up being a musician. I didn't want to do this. I was cool being a fan. But once I realized, like, man, I'm good enough at this to really do some powerful things in this industry, and I know how to use the art of hip hop. I know how to utilize, the industry and the platform the proper way. Hip hop became my slingshot, and I'm narrating my life story on this album to JoJo. JoJo is very important to this. JoJo is a 10-year-old, so you're gonna hear a skit after every song on the album, to where he and I are having conversation just like you and I are, and I'm filling in all the gaps that the songs don't quite fill in, and I'm narrating my life story to him. JoJo is not just a random 10-year-old I found on the streets of New Orleans. JoJo is my best friend Carl, best friend since we were 5 years old. He got murdered a few years ago in New Orleans. Same thing. Carl identified his slingshot, but he was using it for the wrong reason. You heard me? And he got caught up in them streets and he got murdered. JoJo reminds me of Carl so much. When my boy got killed in my old hood, I said, you know what? He has 3 nephews. I'm taking all them under my wing, and I'm Carl for y'all. You know what I mean? I'm your uncle now. Like I got you. So I'm telling JoJo, because he's at that age. He's getting to that age when I started seeing my boy Carl really starting to change. You know what I mean? And take a turn for the worse. Like adolescent, teenage years. So I caught him while he's 10, telling him my life story about his uncle as well, throwing that in there. And ultimately, by the end of the album, I mean, it's amazing to see. We didn't script these convos. Me and JoJo talking, we didn't say, all right, action, take one. Let's do that part again. This is one conversation, raw, unscripted. Wow. So in the beginning of the album, I'm like, look, bro, I'm gonna sit you down and tell you my life story today and how I found my slingshot. He's like, what's a slingshot? He has no idea. By the end of the album, though, he's identifying what his slingshot is and telling me, and it's powerful, bro. It's powerful. So, bro, and all I want people to do is listen. I feel like, as passionate as I am about this, the fact that I'm just saying, oh yeah, just go cop it and go listen, that's the least people could do. I really want you to do way more than that. I want you to go out in the world and use your slingshot to defeat your Goliaths. But the first step is just listen. It's really dope.
There's a few lines on this album that I was like, man, I want to ask him about this, right?
Hey, man, thank you for actually listening, brother. I mean that. Like, you listened quickly. Like, you just got the album last night. Thank you, brother. That mean a lot to me. You quoting lines and everything.
Well, I can't quote them yet. That's why I got them on the iPad. But I did type them, though.
Believe it.
I did type them, though. Why do the righteous suffer? First verse, you're talking about this girl named Brittany.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about Brittany, bro.
Yeah.
So, this is a line you said. You said, you mentioned that she cheated on you for a 4th string bench rider on the football team.
He ain't even get no playing time.
No playing time. Yeah. And that you went to school with her, but passed up on a basketball scholarship.
Yeah, I passed up on several scholarships.
So you was nice.
Yeah, I was nice. This the ironic part. I had D2 and D3 scholarships, but I wanted to play D1.
I got you.
So I passed up on the D2, D3 scholarships to try to go play D1 ball.
But now you are D1. So
now I am D1. I got cut from the D1 team. I got cut in college, and I said, "Forget y'all. I'm still gonna be D1. Yeah. That's just gonna be my rap name."
Hilarious, man. But then you end the verse talking about she died from gun violence. Was that?
What album
did
you
I hear that right?
What album you listen to? No, that I ain't say that. What album you listen to, big brother? What? She died? You serious?
I thought that's what it said at the end of the verse. So maybe I misinterpreted.
Okay.
What did I misinterpret?
I'm like, man, you must listen to Slingshot David, the sequel,
the bootleg. I listened to the
bootleg, right?
The bootleg.
Let's see. No, I say Ryan got murdered for nothing. You probably could my accent. You might not have been able to hear. I'm talking about her. I'm talking about the girl, and then I say Ryan got murdered for nothing, can't be replaced. My dog ever since he was scooping grounders at third base. Went to church every Sunday with him. First communion catechism. Wish them bullets would have missed him. Man, I miss him. So that's what I'm saying. So
I got you.
I pivot to just this time in my life when I'm first starting college to where I get cut from the team. My old lady cheat on me and we break up. And one of my best friends, and this before Carl got murdered, who I just was telling you about. Yeah. This one of my other best friends who I grew up going to church with, playing baseball with, got murdered. So that was a time when all that stuff was happening simultaneously.
All simultaneously.
Yeah, all this stuff. Like, and I'm talking about the song is called "Why Do the Righteous Suffer?" Because it's like, yo, I'm trying to do everything the right way. Like. Me and Ryan, the only people from our whole hood who went to college after high school, and we trying to do something productive with our lives. And she cheated on me. I was being faithful to her, so it'd be different if it was like, okay, we both cheating on each other. Man, I'm straight dog faithful. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Then the basketball stuff, I'm like, yo, this before I started rapping, so I'm just like everything that I love, from best friends to old ladies to my passion at the time, basketball, all this is being stripped from me. You feel me? So that hence the title, Why Do the Righteous Suffer?
What effect did dealing with all of that at one time, what did that have on you?
That was the breaking point. That was the point where, if I wanted to check out, I could have checked out. You know what I mean? Meaning like suicide. Like I know people who done took it there when it's like not one thing is happening, not two things happening, not three things happening, but it's just multiple things. I didn't have enough bars in the verse because I wanted to keep it at 16 bars to talk about other stuff that was going on. You feel me? At that time, I could have checked out of here if I wanted to. It had that type of effect on me. Definitely could have dropped out of college. Definitely, man. I sat in the courtyard at LSU, in the quad we call it, just sat there, man. Like, man, I could just go ahead on. I have every excuse in the book to drop out of school right now. I was studying for an accounting exam, and I was like, man, I hate this class. Number one, number two, like, I could just be done with all this, and I have an excuse to do it right now. It had that type of effect on me to where it's like I'm either gonna check out of this thing, either check out of life, check out of school, or I'm gonna become a champion. And it was something about me that just I wanted to be able to look back on that time one day and say, man, I stuck with it, yo, and I became a champion. And that's when I decided that also I was basing my identity on temporary things. They could all be stripped from me. You heard me? So that's when it became like, yo, like I have to actually have a relationship with God. You know what I mean? As opposed to just I go to church and I check the box off. You heard me? Because that's what church was for me at that point. That's what my spiritual life consisted of. I'm checking that box off. And so that's the effect it had on me. Is this dude named Corey, man. Corey used to always ask me on LSU campus, man, why don't you come to Bible study, bro? Every Monday night we do Bible study. Come on, man, it's cool. It's a bunch of dudes like us. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. I never go, right? And at this time, at this moment, when I really felt like I was hitting rock bottom with all these different, catastrophes happening, I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. And not only they didn't have Bible study, he actually said, we have a retreat coming up this weekend. This retreat is called an encounter, and he was like, it costs $40. I'm like, oh, That's my excuse
I'm
not
out.
to go. I ain't got it. You know, I ain't got it, cuz I ain't got it. So he was like, you know what? Don't worry about the money. I'ma pay for you. Like if you down to come, I'ma make sure that you get there. So I went on this encounter. It was a trip to Mississippi, and I sure had an encounter with Christ out there, man. Had an encounter with Christ, and I formally rededicated my life to Christ, and you know, that was my wild moment. Like, dang, like, what was I doing all this time? I was really basing who I am on all these things that could be stripped from me at any given moment, but you know, Christ being rock solid the whole time, you know, and that really changed my world. So that's how I dealt with it. And I just want people to know that there's gonna be a period where you're gonna feel like you don't deserve everything that's coming at you. There's gonna be a Job moment in your life. You hear me? Cause I know, cause I've had it, you know, and I feel like I feel like it comes in cycles, so it's not just a one-time thing, you know.
Yeah. You got another song, "Love Always Wins," with 7 Streeter.
Yeah.
You said I cheated on girls and I cheated on Tess. I had a gun to my head, but I cheated death.
Yeah.
Dog, I'm battling some serious demons, but I'm still breathing, and love is the reason.
Powerful. Cheated on girls. Yep. You know, after that stuff happened to me in college, it became something to where, I don't know, I remember Soulja Slim had a line. You know, Soulja Slim, he from New Orleans, rest in peace. I remember he had a line. He said, you know, my first old lady basically, you know, cheated on me, and you know, all my feelings left, you know, with that relationship. Like, his first girl really messed over him, and that messed it up for everybody else after. And I kind of could relate to that, because there was a time where afterwards I was like, as a defense mechanism to not get hurt, I'm not gonna give my all to anyone. Because when you give your all to someone in the context of love and a relationship, you become vulnerable.
Yeah.
And to become vulnerable opens you up to potentially getting hurt again. And so definitely that. What did I say? I cheated on Tess. I don't know why I put that part in there.
I had a gun to my head.
Yeah.
But I cheated death.
Yeah. The gun to my head part. People might interpret that as, oh, you really were about to commit suicide and you had a gun to your head. Nah. I had a gun to my head because somebody had a gun to my head, you know, sitting on my temple, literally. And crazy story behind that, I could do a whole album about that story. I'm playing basketball at my apartment complex. I stay in a good neighborhood, you know what I mean? At the time, I'm living out there in Baton Rouge, and you know, these dudes walk up to us and they like, yo, me and my partner playing one-on-one, and these dudes walk up to us like, yo, y'all know somebody broke in our homeboy's car. You know what I'm saying? And their homeboy that they're referring to is a very high profile individual who everyone in this room knows. And I don't want to say it. I tell you off camera. Yeah. I don't even know if it's, you know, the right context to talk about it publicly. But we like, nah, we don't know who broke in the car. We've been sitting here playing ball, homie. Y'all can see us. You know, we sweating. You know, we shooting threes and layups. And so two of the dudes was like, I bet. And they start walking off. And one of the little dudes in the middle, he was like, nah, man, F that. Y'all know who did it. Y'all know who broke into this car. It probably was y'all. And I'm like, bro, we don't know. So he goes and he takes our stuff off the bench. You know, cell phone, wallet, keys that we had sitting on the bench. Yeah, not looking through it. He's like, y'all jacked. You know what I mean? It's mine now.
Oh, wow.
So at the time, I'm like, man, look, man, we just finna have to fight. Like, what you mean? So I get up, go approach him, and my partner walking over there, and dude pull a little pistol out. So once he does that, I sit on the bench, and I remember dude got the pistol right here on my temple, man. Mother F, I'm about to blow your effing brains out. You about to die, da da da, all this stuff. And I'm just sitting there with my hands up like this, you know what I'm saying? Thinking in my head, not even having enough time to think, but all I could think is like, dang, I'm about to go out just like Ryan did. You know, my friend who had just got murdered. Yeah. That's all I had time to think was, I'm about to go out just like Ryan did. Dang. And, you know, luckily, I cheated death though, man. Shout out to random girl, never saw her before. Walking to her apartment, it was a 3-story complex. Walking to her apartment on the 2nd floor, and she looks down on the basketball court and sees all of this going on. So she gasps pretty loud, like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And does that. So him and his two partners, they all look up. We all kind of look up at her. And once they see that, his two friends, they got scared and he was like, man, put that away, man. Put that away. You know what I mean? So as if like, yo, that's going to be a witness. You feel me? So they put that in. So I cheated that. I definitely cheated that. And, you know, that's why I say, bro, love always wins, man. Later that night, you know, I'm trying to clear my mind. I'm like, bro, I just almost got killed. This is crazy. So let me just get out of this neighborhood I live in, and there's a party going on downtown. I go to the party. Man, I'm sitting there on the wall chilling, and I look across the dance floor. Guess who I see?
It's the girl?
No, it's all three of them dudes.
All the dudes.
So the dudes see me. The dudes see me, and the next thing you know, they looking and they tapping each other and they pointing like, man, that's Lil Daddy from today. So they start walking across the dance floor.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, so I tell my dude that's with me, I'm like, bro, that's the dudes who almost, you know, this was a different friend I had with me, not the one who was on the basketball court. So I tells him, I'm like, look, bro, that's the dudes from earlier today. So we start running. So we both heading towards the exit of the club. It's one exit. We both heading towards the exit of the club at the same time. You know what I mean? And luckily we beat them out of there and we just ran. I'm like, man, this don't make us scared. This make us smart. You know what I mean? So we ran, we got to his car and we dipped. And I feel like, you know, so when I recall, you know, how love always wins and I talk about it in that song, that's what I'm referring to.
Bro, you could do a whole album on that.
Yeah, oh man, I could go so much more in depth. Yeah, it's so many stories.
You could do an album. Okay, so you had to know I was gonna ask you about this line from Devil's Playground.
Which one?
You know. So you said this man said I slept with him. Said if I slept with him, he'll manage me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all know him. I spit in his face and said, boy, stop playing with me.
Yeah, play with me, man.
I said, Lord, this is just too much. I'm just gonna work with church folk. Church folk be the most crooked on earth folk.
Psh, I found that out, but I found out some of these church folk be the most crooked on earth folk. Yep. Facts. Obviously y'all do know him, who the dude is. I mean, if you keep up with the music industry, you'll know the dude. And you know, me coming into the game, I didn't come into the game, you know this, brother, I didn't come into the game
you weren't like a Christian rapper, bro.
Exactly. Like I didn't come into the game under like this safe haven, bro. I came into the game the same dude I am now, not cursing in my music, putting God first, positive message, but like really out there, you know what I'm saying? Really out there, like
you was out there for real,
like
bro.
I'm on tour with Young Dro. I'm on tour with, you know what I'm saying? I'm on tour opening up for everybody you could think of, you know, Lil Wayne, all that. I'm about to sign the Cash Money. So that being said, you know, I've been put in a lot of situations where early on people were like, yo, you have something, like you have it, whatever it is, you have it, but just the way that you're going about it, they're not used to seeing someone like me that's like, wait, you're not cursing in your music, and like your messages, like you're not apologetic about, you know, being a man of God or being you know, just being this conscious brother. Like your motto is be real, be righteous, be relevant. There were so many people that were like, look, I could do something with you, but you got to switch some stuff up, you know. And this one particular person is like, I could do something with you, but you got to do something with me, you know. And I'm like, huh? You know what I mean? Crazy. I'm like, huh? Like you. I don't even get it at first. Like it don't process to me because you're not telling me like blatantly like, hey, I want you to, you know what I mean? But then, so I'm just like, so what you mean? You know what I mean? Like let me know. And man, once I find out, okay, you keep implying what I could do. Man, look, bro, if you don't get out my face right now, brother, you know what I'm saying? Like for real. And I'm out of town at the time when this happened. Wow. So I done came out of town. I'm not in New Orleans, you know what I mean? I can't just say, man, I'm finna get in my car and leave.
Right.
I'm out of town.
Right.
But sure, you best believe I'll give me a motel or something for the night, you know what I mean? Cause I'm staying by your crib actually, you know, when I'm out of town to meet with you. And I'm just like, yeah, like this industry really crazy. You know, I've been through this stuff. And
how were you able to? I've always wanted to ask you this, bro. Mm-hmm. How were you able to not compromise yourself? Because you were young when this was happening.
Yeah,
like it's not like you was like 35 and you've been a Christian for, you know what I mean? Like,
once again,
I mean, you young now, but you was like really young then.
Yeah, like I was like a baby in this thing. Yeah. So the reality is, bro, I've always known why I got into this game. I didn't get into this game because I didn't have any other options, you know? Yeah. So, like, I intentionally gave up a career that I had, you know? I'm a teacher at the time. And I walked away from that, and I'm like, oh, the students love me. You know what I mean? I'm Mr. Augustine. I'm the coolest dude in the whole school.
Yeah,
like,
but you could have, I mean, as smart as you are, bro, you could have principal,
all that was waiting for me. So the fact that I chose to get into this game, it was always something where it's like, yo, I'm not desperate, you know? And then I'm smart with my money. So the other thing is, from the time I get into this game, like, I'm never to the point where it's like, yo, I need to take a quick little $10,000 check or whatever, or a little $5,000 check. I know some people that done sold their whole life away for $10,000, $5,000, $3,000, and I'm like, man, I'm like, you know, I'm financially literate, so I know how to not live above my means, and I was never to the point where a quick offer or a quick deal or a quick check will make me do something that, you know, that will make me that would make me sad, you know, when I look back on it, and will make my family embarrassed to say like, but we ain't raised you like that, you know. So that's how I dealt with a lot of this stuff. The difference is, you can deal with the stuff on levels. You could deal with the stuff to where you choose not to partake in certain things that other people are doing. And that was me for a long time. Okay, I'm just not gonna do this, not gonna do that. But then I started feeling convicted, like, that's not why God blessed me and gave me the platform and the opportunity to be in these circles. He wants me to be bold when I'm in these circumstances, to not only just say, I'm not going to do this, not going to do that, but engage with these brothers, engage in these situations. I'm not scared of anybody. So it's like, look, we could have the uncomfortable conversation about things that actually like, I'm not missing out on not doing certain things. You know, y'all are actually just not being true to yourselves by doing those things, because you're only doing a lot of these things because you're hiding from reality. You're trying to run from your real circumstance, from what you're going through or what you're dealing with. So let's talk on that level, bro. You hear me? Let's talk like that. And that's the part where I had to grow and mature to get to that point where I've had a lot of uncomfortable conversations with artists and executives behind the scenes over the past few years, and that's a blessing, man. I wanted that, because I remember I went on tour, and I came off of the tour. I was on tour with Macklemore. Okay. And I came off of the tour, and I was like, man, there's so many people I met along the way on this journey, on this tour, that like I really had opportunities to go deep with them in terms of just why I do what I do. You know, it's not about what you do, it's about why you do it. You know, some people don't drink or don't smoke or don't do drugs. Why? Because, you know, they don't have the money to afford it. You know what I'm saying? That's different from, no, I'm not doing it like for this reason or for that reason, that you can point people to where they understand this is a lifestyle that you're adhering to. And I remember coming off of that tour just feeling like, man, like I'm just the guy that wants to be cool with everybody, so I'm gonna say and be what I have to be in the moment, to where there's this intricate spot to where it's like, I'm not gonna do anything that's outside of myself, but I'm not going to also do anything that really brings up maybe some uncomfortable topics that need to be talked about, you know, with people in this world. And I'm talking about fans and everything, man. Like, I done had some amazing encounters with fans to where it's like, damn, bro, at the time I'm like, I could really speak into these people's lives, and I wasn't doing it, you know, because I was like, I don't want to come across like I'm Mr. Holy or any of that stuff. But then I started to embrace that over recent years, and I feel like it's changed my life for the better, you know.
That was the I'm not perfect, I'm a Christian.
There you go. That's why I love you, bro. That's no, literally, like 99% of people ain't gonna put that together. That's me. That's me coming off tour, right? Listen, that's me coming off tour with Macklemore, feeling that level of conviction, saying, look, my studio in New Orleans, I was renting out a house in Gentilly. I remember in this area, it looked just like this. I had a little studio in there. I'm like, look, crank up the Pro Tools. I need to record a song, right? The I'm not perfect, I'm a Christian song. And at the time, the people I had around me, like, man, you about to put that out? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Like, we know you're a Christian and all that. Yeah. But, bro, like, you about to, do you know what that's going to do? That's going to put you in that box, you know, that box that all of a sudden, you know, nobody wants to be in that box. And I was just at a point in my life where I'm like, no, forget a box. If it puts me in a box, then that's where I belong. You heard me? But the world needs to know this about me. Because once again, you don't always have till Monday. You feel me? You don't always have till the next day.
That's good.
And if I die today, I don't want people to just say that was a positive dude. No, that was a man of God. That was a Christian. And he was not embarrassed to say that. You hear me? So that's when I did that song. And oftentimes it's the thing that we know in our heart is the right thing to do. But by sight, you know what I'm saying? By faith, you know that's the right thing to do. But by sight and based on what people around you are saying, it's like, no. But if you still go forth and do it, it's going to change your life for the better.
Okay, so a couple more bars from the Devil's Playground since we talking about Christian rappers.
Yeah.
These Christian rappers all competing for the crown. Too many God ain't supposed to be tearing each other down. They laughing at the kingdom. They got us looking like clowns. Some little kids fighting in the Devil's Playground. What sparked that, bro?
What sparked that? Man, it's a lot of when I started getting immersed into the Christian hip hop scene and meeting people and whatnot, I'm knowing what I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? I just been immersed in this scene to where it's like, yo, it's a lot of fabricated friendships. It's a lot of people, you know, just really competing against one another and whatnot. And I'm seeing this and I'm like, oh man, the energy about to be totally different over here. You heard me? And then I gets over here and I'm like, hold on. It's the same thing.
It's heartbreaking,
you know?
bro.
And there's,
it's heartbreaking.
And look, bro, Dee-1 keeps it all the way real. So look, as I'm sitting and talking to you right now, I'm struggling between going into detail about what I'm talking about and real situations I done been in, because I'm thinking like, and I've read this in the word and you know, I listen to sermons to where it's like, yo, like I said, two men of God ain't supposed to be tearing each other down, you know? So it's something to where it's like, do you really want to speak on stuff in a way that is going to now cause dissension amongst this Christian community that we have?
Sure.
I mean, it's being real. It's being honest on one hand. So it is being real. But on the other hand, it's like, is that appropriate? So on the Devil's Playground, I just sprinkled that in there. And it's like, look, like if that's something that I feel in my spirit I need to go more in depth about, then I could, because it's all based on facts. But the reality is, man, like come on, bro. Like, we supposed to be better than, you know, than the rest of this stuff that's going on. But it's really this weird vibe to where it's like, all right, you know, cats are competing with each other. The friendships aren't real. The friendships sometimes feel calculated. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's all a chess game. And my thing is like, once I start to feel that energy, as soon as I start to feel it, I'm gonna say, you know what, I can fight through it. Cause I know I'm a likable person and I know I'm a genuine person. I'm gonna fight through that and let you know, above all that, let's like, come on, it don't have to be that. But when I still feel that and when I know it's there, at a certain point, it's just like, bro, I really don't want nothing to do with that. So I'm just gonna have to distance myself. You feel me? And that's not from everybody at all. I'm not saying that about everybody, but I'm saying just knowing that energy is there, it's like, oh man, like this is. Keep in mind, my album is about my life story. So that's at a time in my life to where I'm first getting into this stuff, you know, and it was a shock to me. Cause I'm coming into it like, yo, I'm finally about to be around some brothers. You heard me? Like some people that we all one. We all on one accord and we got the same goal in mind and we all doing the Lord's work. And once I started to realize all that stuff, man, it just turned me off. So it's like, look, bro, it's either gonna be a problem to where I'm gonna really call you out. You know what I mean? I'm really gonna call you out, like all this type of stuff, or it's just gonna be something to where it's like, yo, allow that to happen, because a lot of times that stuff doesn't happen if people don't see you as like you're a threat. You feel me? Or people don't see it as like, yo, there's only space for one of us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, that's not the case.
We can all win, bro.
Come on, man. And we all are winning. Yeah. That's the thing. We're all winning. And so my thing is like, yo, we don't have like I would just rather it be authentic and be real. You know what I'm saying? But I know the reality, which is I can't change other men's hearts. You feel me? I can't. And then you ask yourself, what does God want at the end of the day? That's it. You know, what does God want from us at the end of the day? And I'm like, man, I ain't got no time to be worrying about, you know, somebody or this person or that person who may have something, you know, deep down like an ulterior motive or an agenda, and I make decisions based on facts, you know what I mean? So once I know that this is a fact, that you feel this type of way towards me, or that, you know, things are just, you know, calculated in terms of like a relationship and whatnot, you know, it's sad. They actually got people in this thing too who will literally try to like do everything in their power to X you out. You know what I'm saying? To X you out. And the thing is, you can do everything in your power to X me out, but I'm gonna be here because you ain't put me here in the first place. You understand me?
Facts.
You didn't put me here in the first place, so you could do everything. You know what I'm saying? There's only one D-1.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and that's for everybody. There's a lot of artists in this thing who they feel what I'm saying right now, because they know that. They feel that vibe. And it's like, look, bro, like, I'll be the one to say, look, let me just put everything out there, because all I'm going to put is the facts on Front Street, and then we could all talk as brothers. We either going to agree or disagree. But I speak on the stuff, you know what I mean, if need be. But at this point, it's just like, I don't think so, because then you got people who won't understand. If I was to do something like that, I wouldn't do it publicly, because you got people who don't understand, and all they see is imagine two players for the Giants, you know what I'm saying, and you just see them fighting with each other, or you see them barking at each other on the sideline. All ESPN catches is, yo, two teammates going off. That's a problem. That's messed up. All of a sudden, the Giants fans and everybody, they like, oh, man, this is crazy. What's the problems with our team? And the players might say, no, it's cool. It was just a little disagreement or whatever. But because it was done in a public forum, all of a sudden, you know, like, you can't erase that image that a fan had in their mind of, no, bro, I saw Odell and Lil Daddy Eli about to punch each other and getting into it and fussing. You can't erase that image in a fan's mind. I don't want to do that to the fans. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that, man. I'm you know, I don't know how long I got here. You know what I mean? None of us do. So I don't want to go about things in that type of manner. And if it mattered enough to me, you know, it would get a lot more than what I get at 2 bars, maybe 4 bars in the song. If it mattered that much to me, I do a J50 and Weezy on you. You know what I'm saying? I trust me. I do that real quick. You see, I don't mind doing that. You know, I do that. I do a separated at birth on you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do that if it mattered that much to me. But it's like, man, it's just like, dang, it's sad though. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So to all the rappers out there who listening, you know, I don't know which camera watching me, but I just want y'all to know, man, we got to remember why we in this thing. We in this thing because we doing God's work. You understand me? And I know it's hard as a human being not to compare yourself to others sometimes and their success, their platform, their money, the people that they're reaching. You feel me? And you got to fight against that, though. If you feel that spirit of jealousy creeping up inside of you, you got to fight against that, brother. Like, it don't make you a bad person, but it makes you fall into a category where it's like, oh shoot, I shouldn't just live here, and I definitely shouldn't act on my feelings when I'm feeling these thoughts of jealousy or these type of emotions. So just remember that stuff, man. Just remember that stuff, and talk to people as men, or just check yourself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my message, bro.
Why do you think we have that competitive spirit in the body, bro?
Well, like I said, I don't have a personal beef against anybody, even the people who got that type of spirit. And you know why? Because we're all human beings. So we have that competitive spirit in the body because we have that competitive spirit in the body.
In the body.
You hear me? Bars. But hey, that's real though. That's real. And knowing that that's the case, I have mercy on people. I have patience with people, you know, because even myself, I have to check myself sometimes, and it's all good. It's all gravy. You hear me? But it's just like, yo, are we gonna allow it to keep happening, or are we gonna talk about it? So my thing is like, look, when people hear the Devil's Playground, if they want to know who I'm talking about, if they want to know what I'm talking about, what's up? We could do it. You know what I'm saying? We could do it. And I'm not trying to make no headlines and like, oh, Dee-1 calls out this person on Wado's show. But the reality is, man, look, it's some conversations that need to get had. And not from a place of like anybody is mad or upset, but just from a place of like, I just don't like to ever be around any environment where we acting like it's all good,
and it's not all
but
good.
it's not all good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's just to that point now where it's like, look, it's all good with me, but I'm gonna come around just to see if you gonna still, do that around me, and if you gonna still act like, and you think that I don't know that it's not really all good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, on your end, but you still like, dang, D really don't know. Like, D really don't know. D just all happy go lucky and super jolly all the time. Man, that's because my joy is in something that you give me, or that you give me, or that you give me. So that joy is gonna be there. But I do come around, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, it don't have to be that vibe, and every venue ain't the right venue to have that conversation.
Sure.
I had to sit down. Timing ain't always right, but it was something that I was feeling at the time as, let me put my life story into 13 songs. I got to take big events that meant a lot to me. There were big, moments in my life. And that Devil's Playground, that epitomized, like, I quit teaching to get into the rap game thinking like, oh, my people need me. I'm about to change the world. And I realized I walked straight into the Devil's Playground. So it was a big enough milestone in my life, that realization of what I walked into, to where I needed to do a song about it. And definitely in the Christian industry. I don't know, bro, why you think people feel like that? Why you think that competitive thing is this? People feel threatened. I know people be feeling threatened sometimes.
I think the threat is there. I've thought a lot about this because it's something I have to deal with myself, even internally.
Really?
And so I think a lot of us that came up in the culture, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you came up in the culture. I started off at Howard University DJing in nightclubs and doing parties with big artists and stuff like that. There's a competitive. So it was like, the DJs back then, like my man Achalasia and DJ Six Sense, like, we was all competing with one another to get the best gigs, the best. So it's like, even when you get saved, like, that is almost still a part of the hip hop part of you.
Gotcha.
That competitive space. And so it's almost like I have to force myself to say, man, I'm not competing with DJ Will. I'm not competing with Dwight Stone. I'm not competing with, like, you know what I mean? Like, we can all win.
Hold on. But this the other thing too. I respect that. I respect that to the fullest. But if it's competition, let's say that. But you a snake if you act like we cool. If you act like we cool and you know that it's like, yo, behind closed doors, there's really an intricate plan to try to knock Wado, knock Wado. That's whack. And you a snake for that. That's what I'm talking about is, yo, if there's people that's doing that, come on, man. Like, don't wear a Giants helmet, but you really play for the Jets. You hear me?
Yeah.
Don't do that. No, wear your Jets helmet, and guess what? It could be healthy competition.
Yeah.
And we could dap each other off at the end of the game like they do.
Yeah.
But don't act like you on my team and then come to find out you in my locker room and everything, and you just really want to see the playbook. You know what I'm saying? You just really want to see the playbook, so you got my helmet on, but at the end of the day, it's like, nah, homie, like, you not on my team.
Like, this is the thing. Like, just real talk. I feel like if I was a rapper, I can look at you, and there may be some things that you do well that I may say, man, I wanna learn that, I wanna pick that up, but I don't wanna do it to where it's a point where it's like, in order for me to succeed, I gotta knock you down. Like, that to me, that's the problem. Like, I know, like bro, listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. Man, every time Jazzy Jeff drops a video, I'm watching that mug, and I'm studying, but I'm never thinking, man, I got to do something to knock Jazzy Jeff off of his thing, or someone in the Christian space, man, I got to do something to knock Dwight Stone off of his thing, or I got to do something to knock whoever it is. Like, the
only way you would feel like that, my brother, is if you felt like, yo, to make it where I want to be, I really have to be someone that I'm not fully. So I have to, like I'm not studying these people and then saying, cool, I'm incorporating that into being Wado. That's if you're studying somebody and it's like, yo, yeah, I need to be more like that person, but I can do them, better than them. Or there's gonna be a different set of people that's gonna see me doing it, and they're not gonna know that I got it from Wado. You heard me? Or from somebody else. Yeah. So that's what it is at the end of the day. To where it's like, man, like, if people were comfortable within themselves, and I get it, some people they uncomfortable with their platform, or they're uncomfortable with their image, and it's like you created that for yourself, though.
Yeah.
You hear me? So me, I'm not gonna like. We never had a sit down like this before in person, but I mean, how long has it been now? Maybe 2-3 years. I guess the whole narrative of like I'm not a Christian rapper, like being like prevalent in what's that? How many years now? The past few, or longer than that?
It might be 4 or 5. I felt like personally, it's always been a conversation.
Okay.
Like just like to be honest with you.
Okay.
From what I've heard, it goes all the way back even before I was in Christian rap.
Okay.
With Cross Movement, Tunnel Rats. Like that whole thing, like there was always a dialogue, but I think I always say the recent conversation really started when Lecrae dropped Church Clothes, because that's when, like when he said it, then you had a lot of other artists that have since come after that, and it's, you know, I'm not a Christian rapper, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm not, you know what I mean? So I would say 3-4 years has been prominent.
So, however long, and that correlates with about the amount of time that, you know, that I've really like been in this space to where it's like, yo, all of a sudden you got this outsider Dee-1 that more people in Christian hip hop are starting to know about. So for me, from the beginning, I'm just like, yo, whoever is saying this stuff, like, it comes across very weak, you know what I mean? It comes across very insecure, you know what I mean? It's one of those things to where it's like, let the music speak for itself, you know what I mean? Like, let the music speak, let your actions speak. And, you know, no one has ever called me a murderer. Why? Because I ain't never murdered nobody. You feel me? At the end of the day, I can't like tell people how to view me or what to call me. It's like, no, we're in an art form where we put out product, and the product is going to allow people to say what we are or what we aren't in their mind. So what I tell people is, if you view me as a Christian rapper, call me a Christian rapper. If you don't view me as a Christian rapper, don't call me a Christian rapper. Like, it's all good. And as far as what do I consider myself, like, I'm out here being David Augustine Jr. You know, I'm out here doing that. So it's not something where I even care to say I am this or I'm not that. You know what I mean? And that's my whole thing. Is like, I never understood that. That dialogue, you know, coming from people, and it's like to each his own. So, you know, it's almost like, do I even have time to like comment on this or like have a stake in this argument? Probably not, because it doesn't apply to me. But it's always something that I've looked at and I'm just like, yeah, like I don't get it. I think it's a lot of people just, you know, just worrying about the wrong thing, because at the end of the day, that type of stuff doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. That it literally doesn't matter. It only matters if people are part of like a calculated agenda to go ahead on and say, yo, like, we got to make this chess move and that chess move. My thing is like, you making so many chess moves that, you know, you forgetting who you really are. But for some people, they don't mind if they're forgetting who they really are, because at the end of the day, they like, look, I'm gonna be whoever I gotta be just to get there. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to do, is get there. So I'll be this today, I'll be that tomorrow, and I'll be that on Friday if it's gonna help me get there.
Get where you gotta get.
Come on, man. And for me, where I gotta get is wherever God want me to be. And God wouldn't want me to be there without being myself. You heard me?
That's good.
So that's all, man. I'm honored. I'm honored to be in this space, man. I'm honored to be in this space to where there are fans that are checking for Christian content, Christian hip hop, who will say, yes, Dee-1 is a person who, you know, we listen to, and we can have him on our playlist, and we bump him and we can relate to him. I'm honored to be in that space. So I'm not ever trying to shun that as something that I don't want to be associated with. You feel me?
Yeah. So let me shift gears a bit. Like, you did a lot of stuff as an indie artist, bro.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like, to be honest, like in this day and age, like you're almost a blueprint for a lot of what I would say dudes coming from the hood that's rapping, that's trying to do an indie. Like, you did a ton of mixtapes. You've went viral multiple times,
bro,
for multiple different things.
Yeah,
like,
different
you got
things.
the viral thing down, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's God,
But
bro.
I hear a lot of artists wrestling with, do I sign with a label? Do I not sign with a label? You know, like last time we did an interview, we actually talked a lot about your label situation. And now, you know, you're releasing the album. You're, I guess, like the first at like to kind of come through the Sony system.
Actually, correct. And and get an album being released. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I had to fight. I had to fight, bro. I had to fight to do this. But that's what David does. You know what I mean? David fought Goliath.
What was the fight though? Do you think it was both of y'all trying to because that's what it looked like from the outside to me.
My thing is, when you sign me, like, you don't sign somebody and then try to figure them out. Like, you already know what you. I have a track record prior to.
You had a track record
prior to me getting signed. So it's like, yo, that's just what it's gonna have to be. But you know, there was a shift in personnel and administration and all this stuff going on, and there were just there were different opinions on what would work. And my thing is, what's gonna work is for me to continue being me,
doing what you were doing.
People have bought into. So there's never been a formula to what has worked for Dee-1. Sally Maybach, a song about paying my loans back, has changed my entire life. You know what I'm saying? I go on college tours now, I give away hundreds of thousands of dollars to high school and college students around the country for scholarships because of that song. And this was a song that at the time, you know, had no support. You heard me? Had no support from, you know, some of the powers that be. And it's like, bet, that doesn't intimidate me. Like, it's all good.
So you basically, that was like an indie release.
Yeah,
for the most part. Like, you that was you working it. That was you.
Yeah, and now it wasn't meant to be. I'm not gonna lie. And people, you know, and it's not me throwing shots at anybody. Because if it's a shot, you know, it's gonna look like a shot. It's gonna feel like a shot. But nah, it was definitely something where, and I've seen it happen so many times. One of my good friends is Lupe Fiasco. Yeah. And he's told me, like, yo, Kick Push, his first big hit single, that was something that Atlantic didn't believe in, and they had to push that mug on their own to get it to pop off. Wow. So it's like, okay, cool. Wow. If y'all don't believe in this,
I can see that with that record though.
For real.
At that time, Black Skateboard dude.
Correct. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like, now we all wear Vans, but you know what I mean? Like,
it makes sense. So for me, I'm like, I get it. I get the fact that a song like Sally Maybach there has never been anything like it that you can compare it to. Yeah. But there has never been anything like a Dee-1 either. Like, you haven't had a dude that's from the hood in New Orleans, you heard me, in the Ninth Ward, East Side, representative right there, Dwyer Road, come through and say, oh, I got a college degree, oh, I'm a middle school teacher, whoop, I want to be a rapper now, whoop, I'm out here messing with T.I. and Grand Hustle and Young Money, Cash Money and all this. Whoop, I'm a Christian too. Yeah. And I'm really bold about my faith. Whoop. You know, my first big song, I'm calling 3 of the biggest rappers in the world out, J50 and Weezy. Like, there's never been anything like this, man. Like, if Nas was a hot boy, that's probably the closest thing that you'll get to Dee-1. You know what I mean? Straight up. If Nas was a hot boy, straight up. So it's cool, man. So I had to fight to
and he had dreads. He gotta have dreads.
And if Nas had dreads, of course, you heard me. Yeah, you're right. Cause you're right. Cause Nas always had the little taper, the little fade.
Signature fade with the bevel blade. I think he grew a bush.
Yeah. He had a little bush at one time. Cause I'm a big fan. I remember he had a little twist, but he never had the dreads. So, you know, man, it was a fight, but I got this thing done November 10th. And it's so. This is how I know God has his hand on my whole project. Watch this. The date for pre-orders, right, of all days, I was like, yo, the date that my album went available for pre-order was October the 13th, right? Friday the 13th. So this is a day always associated with fear, with evil, you know what I mean? With being scared, with death. And I was like, that's exactly what my life is the epitome of, is a fight. So I take days like that and I go directly up against them, and I'm like, no, I'm finna fight against that day, and that's the day my album is gonna be available for pre-order. You know what I mean?
Wow.
The day my album is dropping, November 10th. You know what I mean? 11-10-1110. You know, I used to be a math teacher, so I love numbers. I'm infatuated with them. What's my stage name? Dee-1, right?
Yeah.
All ones in there. 1110. What's my motto? 3 is up, right?
3 is up.
What's 1 + 1 + 1 + 0? 3. You heard me? And that's 3 is up. And that's what I stand for. Everybody that's a Dee-1 fan knows. Be real, be righteous, be relevant. 3 is up. It's just things like this to where I know, like, man, God has his hand on my life, on my project. And the devil don't like that. The devil is mad that I got away. Because I could be doing some real good work for the devil right now. He'll have me on a high payroll, you know, giving me a lot of money, glorifying me. I get a lot of things this world could offer. And the devil is very mad that I got away. You know, so I know that. So that's why I go through the type of fights I go through, man. It's not easy, brother. Like, I'm up here by myself right now. You see me, you know what I mean? I'm getting it. My album come out in 2 days. If I started to tell you some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, that's like, what? How that happen? Wait, you serious? But it's like I always have to check myself and pray and be like, yo, it's David versus Goliath, you know what I mean? And Goliath ain't trying to lose, you know. Goliath ain't trying to lose. So it's just like I gotta stay focused, and that's what I want all my fans and all my listeners to understand, is that it's never gonna be easy just because you decide to say I'm in God's army. You know, I'm in God's army. It's actually going to get harder at that point. But when you know what your slingshot is and you know how to use it, you already know that I'm equipped to handle anything, no matter how hard it gets. That's literally what I do music about, bro. I'm not just rapping to be rapping, you know what I'm saying? That's actually what my prayer is like, God, like, come on, like, devil, keep coming at me, like, because I know you're going to, and I'm gonna be victorious, but God, like, I just gotta have, you know, I just gotta have some other soldiers around me that can help navigate through some of the stuff the devil throwing at me, you know what I mean? Because that's the thing, is when you're doing a lot of it primarily on your own, it can feel overwhelming at times. Sure. And a lot of the people out there who don't have an investor behind them, what investor ever got behind Dee-1? None. You know what I'm saying? What all them tours you seen me get on, what tour I ever had to pay to get on? None. You know what I'm saying? What I done never did that I done had this whole team and this big infrastructure pushing this or whatever behind me. None of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think people can relate to me. People who feel like I'm an artist and I know I got something, but I just don't have the infrastructure around me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to tell them, yo, it's not to the point where I can even say, like, I've ever experienced just this ease of just, you know, doing things. You know what I'm saying? It's not, man. Ask people the phone calls I'm on every day behind the scenes, like, and the fires I'm having to put out, you know, that's actually going on, and call audibles on the spot. I'm really living this stuff, bro, and I'm doing all this just so people can hear my album. So it's like, by the time I get through the passion I put into the music, the meaning behind it, the significance of my life story, the symbolism of finding your slingshot, using your slingshot to defeat Goliath, the things I'm having to go through in real time, surgery, death, you know what I'm saying, like illness, like all this type of stuff, behind the scenes, crazy stuff on the business side. By the time I get through all that, and I'm like, yo, and all I'm asking you to do is buy the album and listen, and that mug is $10, or you could stream that mug on Spotify. I feel like, come on, that's the least you could do. You know, I'm not asking a lot at all, you know. And that's what it is, yo. So I'm that passionate about people hearing the music, because I know the music is gonna be food for their soul. You feel me? And it's just gonna be something that people could bump, man. Like, you need music that's the soundtrack to your lifestyle. Yeah. And from New Orleans, man, come on, man. Like, from New Orleans, the people I grew up listening to, nobody ever gave me the soundtrack to my lifestyle. When I'm like, wait, I never killed nobody. I never even shot a gun before. I'm not out here selling dope. Dang, what can I listen to? You feel me? So yeah, brother, like, that's just what that is, man. Like, it's a lot more I could say, but I'm just using discernment right now in terms of stuff, man, because I know at the end of the day that we get preoccupied with temporary things down here. Some fans not gonna have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but we just get preoccupied with these little petty battles and these things that seem like they mean so much to us, and at the end of the day, it's just all about what does God want from me? How does God want me to utilize my energy and my talents? And that's what I'm choosing to focus on. And I hope people can sense that about my spirit and about my music, and whatever that leads to for me, I'm perfectly fine with it, brother. Like, I'm already rich, you know what I'm saying? Like what can this world give me? I'm literally already rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I don't need your platform or your friendship or anything. I'm not gonna shun any of that, but it's not something where it should ever have to cause me to be someone that I'm not, you know.
Yeah, that's good, bro. Are we gonna get a D1 tour? Another one?
Oh, we getting a 25 city D1 headlining tour.
Oh, that's what's up.
And I don't know when this gonna drop, but I'm announcing my tour dates Monday, November 13th.
Okay.
Announcing all the dates.
Okay.
I haven't said that publicly yet, so
this should be out the same day the album is out.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, nationwide D1 headlining tour, and because of how the album is structured and because of how passionate I am about the album, it's gonna be a great show. Anyone that's ever seen me perform live knows how much passion I have just when I'm on stage. So, being able to perform this album that I have just created, this is gonna be such a gift that I'm gonna get to give everybody. So definitely going on tour. Touring makes it all worth it, bro. Like, putting in time in the studio, mixing, mastering songs, listening to the right beats, contributing to this, that, and the third. Man, when I get on stage in front of those people and they looking and they just like, man, you got our attention, D. Like, what's up? Let alone when they know the words, you know what I'm saying? That makes it all worth it, brother. First time I performed in front of Afeni Shakur, back when I was in college. I had just started rapping, and Afeni Shakur came to Baton Rouge, and she's on the front row, and she's rocking to my lyrics, and I'm like, bruh, I'm on stage. One of my first shows ever, like, yo, this is Tupac's mom.
Right.
This is Tupac's mom. Right. And when she got on stage to do her keynote speech, she said that little guy right there, his lyrics almost put tears in my eyes. And that was the moment when I knew, like, man, this music is powerful.
You got
bro.
something.
Your son is Tupac, you know? And so from that moment on, I've always known the power of a dope performance.
Sure.
So yes, I am going on tour.
Man, that's what's up, man. D, I can't tell you how much I'm happy for you, bro. Just watching your journey over these years, and then obviously, like you said, some of the stuff you filled in on the album I didn't even know about, and seeing you being able to be at this point, man, is it's mad encouraging, bro, because a lot of people don't stay the course.
Right.
A lot of people get frustrated. A lot of people quit. You could have easily at some point gone back and been a teacher.
Yeah.
Now you teaching people on a whole different level, which is so ironic.
Yeah. I just got a bigger classroom now, you know what I mean? And I just want to tell you, brother, like, I value relationships with people to the point where when I feel that they fake, it really bothers me.
Sure.
It doesn't bother me if you let it be known, because it's like, cool, bro, I done had people trying to kill me and everything before, so I know that, if you let it be known. But it really bothers me when people act like we cool, but I know we not. That's why a lot of times in this industry, it's tough to navigate the fabricated friendships and the very surface level relationships. The fact that with you, because I'm the type of person, this is me to the fullest. I'm busy. I'm very busy. We might not talk every day. We might not talk every week or even every month. But the energy and the love is so genuine from me that when I get that from other people, it don't matter how long it is between times that we talk. We always know, like, bruh, I'm here if you ever need me, and just know that the love is real coming from me, and I feel that from my bad. I actually spit on you, brother.
You good?
Hold on, wow. I love you so much that I really no. If you could slow it down and actually watch, you have to slow it down and watch. It caught him right under the eye. Wow.
Hey, this video 4K too.
Wow, brother. Wow. So that's how real it is, though,
I was gonna let it ride, bro.
I'm like, no, we gotta call it out. I just spit on you, bro. Like cross the room. Like, that is bad, yo. Dang, that's bad. I gotta do better. Next interview, I ain't gonna spit on you, brother.
Good, bro.
I promise.
Good,
but
man.
bro, it's always been so real as far as the love from you, man.
Obviously.
Yeah, the love so right here that left me hanging, y'all see that? That ain't good. But I just want to thank you publicly on your platform in this space.
Thank you,
because what I realize about fans is it might be the music that changes their lives. It might be the music that uplifts their day or helps them through a tough time or inspires them. But it can also just be someone's energy. Yeah. And I know that part of the reason for your success is these people, they rock with you. They rock with your energy. And I know that because that's what I'm attracted to is good energy. You know what I mean? So man, thank you, brother. Bro. And, you know, just know how much of God's work you doing as well, bro. Like, it's real, bro. Thank you, man.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be at one of them tour dates, man. Hopefully you got one in New York. I'm almost positive you
Definitely
do.
Got New York.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Waito Radio Show.
I wanna thank you in advance for letting us make it clear to y'all on the Waito Radio Show.
Thanks for tuning in to another Waito Radio full interview. This was made possible in part by our affiliate, Covenant Eyes. The internet can be a dangerous place for unguarded eyes and hearts. Covenant Eyes provides the services that protect against the evils and temptations that can be found on the World Wide Web. Established over a decade ago, Covenant Eyes is the pioneer in internet accountability software, empowering its members to maintain their online integrity. I personally use them on every device that I have: computer, iPhone, iPad, whole 9 yards. Don't go another day without guarding your eyes, your mind, and your heart. Visit waitoradio.com/resources for more information about Covenant Eyes. And if you sign up via our affiliate link at waitoradio.com/resources, we'll give you a month free. Covenant Eyes, trusted by thousands of families, including mine. This interview is brought to you by our sponsor, Devin Turner. This MC and pastor is not only putting out great music, but he's doing phenomenal work in his community and abroad. Check out his new album, Luminary, available on all digital outlets. For more info, visit his website at devinturner.org.
Thank you for downloading the Waito Radio Podcast. If you love what you're hearing, leave a review on iTunes. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps expose others to the show. Thank you, and God bless.